The young woman was faced with a harsh reality. An English prince was vying for her hand, but her uncle refused the marriage. It was unthinkable for a recognized beauty at the French court, the niece of Cardinal Mazarin and his favorite, to marry a penniless exile. This was a significant miscalculation from the usually cunning and far-sighted Italian minister. Just 5 months later, the rejected suitor would become the King of England. Hortense was perfection personified, of average height, slender, with dark, curly hair and striking bright eyes. Among the cardinal's nieces, she was unanimously deemed the most captivating. Born in the mid-17th century, she had matured into a fully developed young woman by the age of 13, thanks to her Southern heritage. The refined and reserved English Prince Charles, living in France as a poor relative, was utterly smitten. He rushed to Cardinal Mazarin to ask for Hortense's hand. Charles Stuart was a cousin to King Louis XIV of France, famously known as the Sun King. His mother was Princess Henrietta, daughter of the renowned Henry of Navarre. His father was the grandson of Mary Stuart, who once met her end on the scaffold. Their incredible lineage and the extraordinary biographies of each ancestor were nothing short of astonishing. However, Charles was deprived of a future and his own rightful throne. England was in the midst of a revolution. The monarchy had been abolished, and his father, King Charles I, was executed. The monarch's wife and children fled to their French relatives, and Cardinal Mazarin viewed their chances of reclaiming the throne as quite bleak. Such a suitor was not suitable. The Englishman was turned away. The uncle wanted nothing but the best for his beloved niece. He intended to leave his vast fortune, earned through hard work, exclusively to her. And here was a mere exile. The prince was offended. He had been dismissed like a servant. However, Charles didn't have much time to dwell on it. He was already gathering supporters. Just 5 months after his unsuccessful proposal, he entered London and finally claimed his rightful crown. The rejected prince restored the monarchy in England and was proclaimed King Charles II. Meanwhile, Hortense Mancini found herself in a foolish predicament, all because of her uncle's short-sightedness. The girl wept, handsome, charming, and now a king. Clutching his head, Mazarin sent a letter to England. He agreed, he was happy, and he blessed the couple. He even offered them a generous gift of 5 million livres. But now, the suitor who had once been deemed unsuitable turned down the proposal. Previously, he had been a wandering prince who could afford to marry a woman of low birth from Italy. But now, he was a king and would only marry a true princess. Hortense Mancini lost her chance at a crown due to her uncle's lack of foresight. He had never made such mistakes before. Soon after, King Charles married a genuine princess from the Braganza family, while Hortense was married off to the Marquis de la Meilleraie, who was granted the title of Duke Mazarin by her family. The union of the beautiful Hortense was exceedingly unhappy. The couple could not stand each other, constantly quarreling, and her husband tried to confine her to a convent, stripping her of her rights to property. He allowed himself to act inappropriately, was jealous, and made his wife's life miserable. But Hortense was no angel either. She did her fair share to provoke the Duke in their ill-fated marriage. In the latter half of the 17th century, the young woman moved to London, where she encountered King Charles. Once, she could have been his wife, but instead, she became his mistress. For a time, Hortense was the most beautiful and influential woman in England. However, she ultimately managed to ruin her relationship with Charles as well. The niece of the cardinal, the would-be queen, lived a tumultuous life and died at the end of the century. She left behind memoirs that historians study with great interest. After all, Hortense not only knew how to live vividly, but also had a remarkable talent for describing her adventures on paper, a gift that few possess. Wouldn't you agree?